Now, with the US President confirming the United States strikes in Venezuela as well as the capture of Venezuelan President Maduro and his wife, we have some information regarding flight movement above the country in the wake of the incident. My colleague Malvika Pandey is joining us to take us through the same. Malvika, over to you.
Well, absolutely, Vaishali. Over here we have some more information that's coming in, and of course, firstly, it becomes very important to put it into context since we have now official confirmation by the United States President that the Venezuelan President Maduro and his wife have been captured. Now, over here we have all the information that is coming in on Flight Radar 24. This is information that Flight Radar 24 has been able to track. And what we're looking at over here is the Caracas Simon Bolivar International Airport. So when we take a look at all of the flights that have departed from this airport in the past 24 hours, we have that information for you over here. Now, what is important to note firstly is that the last information that we have is that a flight at 10:50 p.m. that departed for Madrid. So that is the last flight that we have been able to track. After this, we have no information. Now, this becomes important because the strikes in Venezuela were reported at around 2 a.m. local time, but the last information that we have is from 10:50 p.m. Now, if we take you through all of the places that flights from Caracas, from Venezuela, capital city, where of course the president's residence was, we see all of these places. You have Madrid, you have Cancun, you have Barcelona, and even if you go further back, you have a lot of other places. You have Barcelona, you have Bogota, you have Palomar, you even have Moscow that took off at around 5 p.m. Local time. Then you have further flights, and these are all the flights. We've gone as far back as 3 p.m. local time, and these flights have all departed. However, you will notice that there is no mention of the United States anywhere over here. So with everything that we have gotten to know so far, and with President Trump's confirmation, it is very important. This information becomes very important because what it reveals is that firstly, we still don't know where Maduro is, where the US is keeping Maduro after having confirmed that he has been captured, and secondly, he could be anywhere because no flight from Caracas that have been able to be tracked. Also, another very important piece of information. Flights that have been able to track, they don't show any such flight departing from Caracas to the United States of America over the past 24 hours at least. And since these strikes took place at around 2 a.m., and it is currently 6:03 a.m., you see there are other flights that are scheduled, but of course we've seen the Venezuelan airspace being completely shut, so it's still very doubtful whether those flights will be able to take to the air. But as of the flights which have departed so far, we have not seen any flight that has departed for the United States of America for more than 6 hours before the strike. So that information, of course, also becomes very, very important over here. Yes, Vaishali, back to you.
All right, I want to now go across to Commander Bhushan Diwan. Now, Commander Bhushan Diwan, of course, an announcement has been made by Trump, but there's no information of the flight, really. What would you like to say on that?
I think this information that he has been moved to USA in so-and-so flight may not be in public domain. So I know you are tracking it by the app. So, but I don't know if he has been taken in a military plane and, from a military airfield. So whereas what we normally track the flights, movements all over the world, or shipping movements all over the world, I think this may not be within the ken of such a tracking. So there's a high probability that he is very much in American control, taken out of Venezuela or not taken out of Venezuela could be another thing. But it looks to me very credible that the arrest of the president and his family has happened already. Physically where he is, that is yet to be ascertained.
Commander Bhushan Diwan, it's quite unfortunate, really. I mean, what we're seeing here, we're showing these visuals on our screens to our viewers, and this is very, very unfortunate because who eventually suffers is really the population of Venezuela, which is really very weak when it compares itself to the military prowess of the US. But like you're saying, that you are certain that Maduro has been captured. Now, the very important point here, Commander Bhushan Diwan, is that, you know, this 9:30 p.m. Conference
Briefing.
that Trump is going to be
Yeah.
holding, 9:30 p.m. viewers, Indian Standard Time is going to be a time where we're all going to be looking out for what Trump really has to say and what is really next for Venezuela. So, Commander Bhushan Diwan, what do you see coming out of that press conference, really?
I think he'll just repeat the same old excuses that it's a terror to the whole world. Venezuela was a threat to the whole world. They're spoiling our kids by the drug trade and so on and so forth. He was a dictator and he was, ruthless with his own people. All those kind of standard excuses. I mean, America doesn't seem to learn the same excuse they trumped out when they attacked Iraq. And Iraq, situation became from bad to worse. Same thing in Afghanistan, same thing in Libya. They may not be Libya, Iraq, or Venezuela, may not be, the best of democracies that maybe America, which America thinks they are. They are the gold standard in democracy. But at least people are able to eke out their existence, hospitals, some semblance of government. Now that is, all those countries have been destroyed. Now that is what he is trying to say. Justify this, will justify at 9:30 p.m. And country like Venezuela will be destroyed. The second thing is that he will also put his own puppet president over there. You see, that is a change of regime he would have done, but thereby trying to tell the world that we have, we are the bosses. We America are the bosses. This is the message he's trying to convey. Little, this is a sad thing, and but as far as the world going forward, as I was speaking to you, that, for example, at least with us, with India, I was saying, coming to the point that 1990, when Nixon and Kissinger, with the help of Pakistanis, went to meet Mao Zedong, and thereafter, USA embraced China big time to really take care of their enmity, America's enmity with USSR. Now we don't want to be part of, India doesn't want to be part of any cartels like this, you know, any cabals like this with pro USA, pro America, pro this, pro China. We don't want to be. But I think, I don't know, fighting with the USA has a big problem with China's growth, and fine. USA wants to also, try to press India down badly, 50% tariff, and, talk about G404 engines being given to for our Tejas Mark II. For years it takes, it doesn't come. And then on top of it, you tell us don't buy from Russia. You can't have it both ways. If really China, in Second World War, Hitler lost because he opened two fronts. He attacked UK, and UK was not fully won over by Germany, but Germany attacked Russia in the bargain, and they lost the war. Now here, America wants to have a fight with China also, wants to immediately have a fight with India also in that sense. So this kind of thing, if America does, this is not wisdom. Okay, this may not be, this is not real politics also, this is not wisdom also. Why? Swollen headed with the sense of self-importance, and their own political leaders of both colors, Republicans and Democrats, keep saying that we have spent a decade trying to, cobble up a nice relationship, warm relationship with India. And you, Mr. Trump, in 1 year's time, you demolish the whole thing. You can't browbeat people like this, country of size, 1.4 billion population out of 8 billion on earth. Trump is trying to browbeat us and, get our allegiance to him by browbeating. And you know what? By doing H-1B visa story, all those things, whom is he hurting? He's hurting his own companies much more. The whole basis of America's competitiveness in the world is best brains from all over the world. The Statue of Liberty, if one visits in New York, it says all are welcome from all countries. So how they do it? They have the H-1B visa and talent. So they're able to attract talent from all over the world. And brainy Indians go there. And we are losers. IIT, I'm an IIT product. Of course, I was in armed forces. So IIT Bombay, IIT Bombay, that is Delhi, here, people all migrating to America. Whose benefit? India's loss, America's benefit. But now that's what he's reversing it. Is he not hurting his own self? His competitors' own companies. But that again, their own businessmen. American businessmen also know the game. GCCs, that is Global Capability Centers of these big firms, IT firms. Lot of the employment is happening in India. They've opened center, all 200 centers they opened in India in last 1 or 2 years. And the hiring by, I have served in TCS as vice president, and I can tell you that, the hiring in the number of employees into IT sector has been huge for the last 10, 15 years in India. But now the hiring rate is much higher by the GCCs or the foreign American companies. Less by TCS, less by Infosys, less by Wipro, but the GCCs are hiring a lot. So, you try to do illogical things, people will find a way out to defy you, and the bargain defeating the country's prosperity, country's competitiveness. I mean, USA's. And, by shaking the world, trying to browbeat, how long will it last? That is the reason you have seen now 50% trade tariff. You have seen it. India has gone around Jordan, Oman, and so many countries increasing trade with many countries in the world, having alternative markets, so that we don't depend upon America's purchase from us, America's imports upon us. So long-term changes are happening in every challenge. There is an opportunity, and that is what we are seeing. So therefore, there's no question of trying to browbeat us, and there's no question of India accepting all that. And that is how things will really take off. It's okay. Many times changes come in the garb of a pain area. It's a pain area. The way so much Trump tariff has been tariff has been increased by Trump. The way Trump is pushing us to not use Chabar port, sanctions on Chabar port. Gwadar port, Pakistan can use, China can use. Imagine, is this is also not real politics also? If China CPC can come to warm water through Gwadar port of Pakistan, I mean, India should next 200 miles away from Chabar is the Gwadar port, which is Iran's, Chabar port, which is Iran's, and from which India is able to operate and go up to Central Asian republics, TTKKU, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, and Uzbekistan. And those countries are landlocked, and they are traditionally so close to us, culturally and scientifically, these 5 countries of Central Asia. So, I mean, if China has to be, China's doing his Belt and Road, BRI, if India does this, go through Chabar, it's a good thing. Yeah, the real politics should also dictate this to Trump. It's not happening. So how things will roll, I think he'll meet his comeuppance now in 2026 November, when there will be Senate elections in USA. The erratic ways of his will be perhaps put to test, and then he may not be having such widely swinging powers, and he's not been able to control any war. I mean, he talks about controlling war from the day one of his ascendance as the president of USA till today. No wars increasing. Now Venezuela has been attacked, Thailand, Cambodia, again that happened, and India, China, India, Pakistan, again how it was a lot of American arms also there, and then Bangladesh again being a deep state of has created a turmoil in this area almost since almost 15 months since August 24. So I think this kind of it looks to me, I don't know. People say that he may have a strategy behind it. He may be There's a method behind the madness. That is what people say. But let us see how it is. To my mind, method is very destructive to the whole order. You as a USA can have your own interest, but at least go by some rules, norms, by rules of real politics. Even now, you've attacked next door neighbor and trying to shake up full South America. It'll have no. I must tell you, China has a lot of presence in Latin America, and they have a presence because by dint of trade. And I must tell you another thing. Latin America is a huge land, 140 million, which is nothing. 140 population of 140 million only. Huge continent. So much land, so much of land has been taken on lease by China to do agriculture there. So look at the presence and control of China in full South America, Latin America. And America can be sitting next door. And you know that Panama Canal again, China had a presence. And just recent news about 2-3 weeks back when China's contribution was celebrated with in Panama Canal, was celebrated with some kind of function event. That again, America, USA looked askance is that. So this is no maturity in dealings, no maturity in decisions, no maturity in actions, just, using rough, raw force being used. And we are talking about 21st century, we are talking of democratic leadership, we are talking of a potential Nobel Prize winner. All this is very sad, and I only hope this G5 thing comes up and UNO is superseded by something more realistic as a world government, as a world decisive power. UNO is silent because they have no money. Money comes from USA. I mean, Europe doesn't have money. USA has money because they have the money. Money makes the mayor go, so they are controlling everything. The UNO is handmaiden of all agencies of UNO are handmaiden of USA. They stop the funds. And the funds come from where? They keep printing dollars. And how come they keep printing dollars? Because of petrodollars. Whole world has reserves, dollars reserve. What do they do with
Manav,
dollars?